and welcome to Commons Current Event Roundtable Discussion Group. And today we have a very good guest and a wonderful candidate who is running for Lake County State's Attorney on the Democratic ticket. As you know, I always say I'm not a party girl, but I have somebody that I think is extra special. His name is Michael Jacobs. Can we call you Mike?
Yes.
For the show, great. And you're running for the Lake County State's Attorney, and you are, I better put my glasses on since glasses are now popular, made by Sarah Palin. You're running for Lake County State's Attorney. You have been an Assistant State's Attorney for Cook County since 1986 to the present. You are the Village Trustee of Gurnee, and I really want to welcome you to our show.
Thank you for having me today. I appreciate that.
Yes, and before we get into all the particulars, I want to tell people that you are a family man. And if we have a picture of Mike's family, you can put it on right now. There you are. It's a nice picture. You have 2 boys and a daughter. How old are they?
Jamie is my daughter. She's 17. She's a senior at Warren Township High School in Gurnee. My one in the middle there is my son Aaron. He's a freshman. He's 14. And he's also at Warren Township High School. And the little guy all the way over on the side there, that's Parker. He is 11, and he attends Woodland Middle School.
And who is the beautiful woman next to you?
That is the pride and joy of my life, my wife, Susie. We have been married since April 1st, 1989.
Oh, April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Yes. Some people say we're fools.
And also, I want to get, before I forget the picture, you also have been supported, you and the Democratic Party, and by Barack Obama. There you are with Barack Obama. Where is that picture being taken?
That is at a 4th of July parade in Highland Park. Senator Obama has been very supportive of all the candidates in Lake County, and he was kind enough to take that picture with me. And it's a picture I treasure quite a bit.
Wonderful. Okay, on your brochure, Mike, you say an experienced prosecutor who will put the law above politics. What does that actually mean? Does it mean that you put politics first and the law second? And what is your running mate? Does he feel the same way? Let's talk about that. And I believe your running mate on the Republican ticket is Mike Waller. So you're Mike Jacobs and Mike Waller. So I'm wondering if there'd be a lot of Mikes on this ticket. So what is the situation with putting politics first and the law second?
It's putting the law above politics is what it is. And by running mate, I believe what you mean is actually my running opponent.
Your running opponent, not
right.
your running mate.
Right.
That's right. You're not running for president. This
right.
is not vice president.
Right.
Your running opponent.
Sure.
Okay.
And what we actually mean by that is that over the years we believe that politics has tended to become the priority in Lake County. Mm-hmm. There's been such a situation where there's been one party in control for so long. We've noticed that politics tends to come first in Lake County rather than the law. And as a result, it's not about the justice. If you'll notice that what I mean by that is that there's the fact that one party has maintained control leads to sort of not actual corruption, but sort of corruption by omission. You know, not that the office itself is committing corrupt acts, but sort of looks the other way. Over the years, what we've seen is failing to prosecute certain cases. And when I'm elected, my goal will be to make sure that crimes are prosecuted regardless of any party affiliation.
So you mean you're actually saying that people, because they're in a certain party, they have a tendency to put on in their office people that they know that may support the party. Because I always felt that a state's attorney should not be partisan at all. I know you're running on the Democratic ticket, but I think it should be a nonpartisan, position.
Sure. Well, the state's attorney's position is probably one of the least political of all the offices. Mm-hmm. At least it should be perceived that way. Mm-hmm. But when you have the potential to have somebody such as your county commissioners or the president of the county board actually appoint that, it would tend to be a partisan official, somebody at the beck and call of that county president, responsible. You'd be beholden to that person to answer that person, be at that beck and call that person to prosecute as that person sees fit. So you're actually better off having somebody elected by the electorate to make those decisions on behalf of the people and what's right for the people. So
that's good. Because I always say I'm not a party girl. I don't vote a Democrat or Republican. I vote for the best person.
Sure.
And I think that's what people should do. They should vote for the person that they think is the best person for the job. You know, it's interesting that we were talking about this because Mike and I went out for breakfast right before the show, and we ran into a man that I introduced you to, and he said to you that his former employee embezzled him, and he's been trying to get his case heard by the state's attorney's office, and it has been sitting there for 3 years. What is that about?
The gentleman, and I think it's inappropriate for us to mention his name here, other than he is a local businessman here in Highland Park.
Right.
And what he had said to us was that the case has been sitting, languishing in the courthouse for close to 3 years now. And the excuse that he's heard is that there's just too many murders in Lake County and they don't have time for his case. And that's when they're kind enough to return his phone calls. That is just inappropriate that they don't return this gentleman's phone calls. And I believe it's a poor excuse to say that there's too many murders that they have time to prosecute, that they don't have time to prosecute his case. There are, you shouldn't be diminishing the number of murders that happen in Lake County at any given time. But I do believe, on average, we're seeing less than a dozen murders or so every year in Lake County. But that being said, every crime that happens in Lake County is an important crime to every victim, and they should be putting resources out to prosecute these crimes. And 3 years is just way too long for these crimes to be heard. They should be devoting resources to get these cases heard, and this is just patently unfair to this gentleman to wait that long.
Is there a reason, maybe the numbers, there's a number crunch that maybe he wants to prosecute cases, your opponent wants to prosecute cases that are more of importance, so it'll look better for him? Is that possible? That something about numbers? Is numbers have any?
Well, there's no question that in terms of seriousness of the offense, a murder crime would be worth more time in jail than an embezzlement crime. But in terms of seriousness to the victim and the amount of time that passes between the charge, there is something that's known as the Speedy Trial Act. And unless the parties, meaning the prosecution and the defense, are agreeing to extend the trial date, each defendant is entitled to have his case heard within a certain amount of time. And the victims of crimes are often the ones that are left unheard in these cases. And regardless, it really shouldn't matter about how serious the crime is heard. When cases sit there and languish, evidence often gets stale, people's memories go bad, and it gets tougher and tougher to prosecute.